Well, let's shift gears. JK Paper, the management joins in to talk about their plans to increase their plantation in Myanmar as well as the business outlook. We have Mr. Pati Singhania, who is a Vice Chairman and MD of JK Paper. Thanks for joining in. To start off with, what's the demand scenario and what's your share of the pie?
Demand for the industry overall has been growing at about 6 to 7%, and we find that paper demand is always in line with the economic growth and so on and so forth. So currently it's growing at that. Now today India has a 14.5 million ton sort of consumption of paper. The projections are that by 2020 it will be 20 million tons, and by 2030 it will go up to about 26.5 million tons. So demand will continue to grow, and India in fact will probably be seen or is seen today as one of the fastest growing paper demand countries in the world. So that's one part of it. It is growing across all segments in India, whether it is packaging or printing papers or tissue papers or specialty papers. It continues to grow, and therefore that growth will continue. As far as JK Paper is concerned, we are in three, if I was to characterize it, we are largely in 3 or 4 large product areas. Our largest area is clearly the cut size copier paper, where we are the market sort of leaders in India.
No, that's fair. Since we have a little time on hand, I just wanted to address some key issues, especially the debt that you manage. What is the debt on the books right now, and what is the plan to reduce the same? Where do you see debt levels by the end of FY17?
See, we have been generating good EBITDA margins, and therefore good EBITDA numbers, and therefore with those EBITDA numbers, we have a schedule to pay down our debt, and we are very much on track to do that. We had a 420 crore EBITDA last year. Our first quarter, actually, if you look at it on a proportionate basis, would be very much on line with that and probably exceeded that. Unfortunately, I can't talk too much about the future, but we are very much, all I can say is we are very much in line to bring this down as per plan.
What is the update on the Built acquisition?
What is in public domain is that we made an unbinding bid for two plants with an installed capacity of about 3.5 lakh tons. The further process which goes on in terms of due diligence and other stuff is ongoing at this point. So I'm afraid I don't have any new announcement to make at this stage, except that this work is going on.
Right, you mentioned a pilot project of plantation in Myanmar. If successful, what cost savings will you see from it, and other areas where you're exploring, setting up more plantations?
So that's a good question. We've looked at a pilot plantation project in Myanmar, and if that works out well, we will be able to hopefully look at scaling that up and doing it in a larger scale. Now, what we are hoping is that should allow us access to significantly lower cost raw material than what would be available in India. And but it will take time, because trees take time to grow and a plantation takes time to nurture. But once that happens, then we will look at it will help us secure a much lower raw material base for us.
Thanks, Mr. Singhania, for giving us a clearer view on how things are shaping up for the company, and good luck going forward. So fairly optimistic for JK Paper. And on that note, we are completely timed out right here on the show. Coming up next, Market Supply.